Classes in session, this is the show where knowledge is profit, just so you know. Army Piper, OC guy, and TradeFly, bringing crypto news to the whole alumni. It's the word on the market, the one-stop shop for the info you need every time that it drops. The go-to show that you need right now. This is Piper Academy, it's all going down, let's go.
Hey everybody, welcome to Piper Academy. I'm your host, Army Piper, here with my co-host, TradeFly, and the OC guy. We had $57,000 Bitcoin, $3,200 Ethereum. We're going to be taking a look at where we go. Will we go higher? And is there a setup coming for a pullback, 30 to 40% retracement in the charts? We're going to be looking at all of that. We got a lot of news, got some economic data. We're going to be taking a look at SNEK back up to new highs. That and a whole lot more today on Piper Academy, guys. Let's get it. Classes in session. Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Piper Academy. This is the show coming at you every Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys the news, the charts, the markets, and everything you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. Thanks for joining us today. No, not clickbait. There is truly events this week and things on the charts that give me pause. We'll call it a pause, okay? I am very bullish. I am celebrating my portfolio, as TradeFly was talking about in the chat just now. But I am a little cautious. We'll use that word. I'm a little cautious because the setup that we have right now, the resistance that we're at right now, looks a whole lot like a previous cycle. So I'm going to be breaking all that down for you guys and showing you guys what I'm seeing in the charts today. But it's not just me. I don't want to run a one-man show over here. I've got a lot of people in the background working hard for us, a lot of mods in the chat working hard for us. And of course, I've got my partners in crime that I could not do this show without. It's my co-host here. It is the OC guy and TradeFly. What's up, fellas?
What is going on? I got the Billy Madison hat back. And so let me get this straight. You're bullish, but you have a pause. So I'm going to call you Santa Claus for today.
I'm bold. Hey, look, because I'm here for the long haul, TradeFly. Yeah, I know that I know the direction and how this plays out. We've seen this all before, right? So I'm bullish.
Hashtag Santa Claus. Put it in the chat. Let's go.
Hashtag catapult. Hashtag trebuchet. We're fancy on this channel. What I'm going to be watching for, though, is look, a retracement back to these levels that I'm going to show on the charts today. They would be healthy. First of all, they would not be healthy for our portfolios. We would feel like we just got robbed at gunpoint, right, by the bears. But it would be healthy. It would be healthy for the charts to do that. Okay, sad truth to that. But it would also give confirmation of a previous support as a retest. So it's happened before, man. It can easily happen again. History does not always repeat, but it damn sure rhymes. So good morning to everybody out there, by the way, in the chat. I want to say good morning to everybody and all my wonderful mods, all of my magna cum laude and my summa cum laude. You guys are amazing, and thank you guys for all the support on the show. But yeah, I am bullish and I am bearish, TradeFly.
Santa Claus.
I'm long-term bullish. I'm short-term cautious. I don't even want to say I'm bearish. I'm cautious, man. That's what it is. OC, how you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic. I also pre-show. I mean, you showed us a liquidation things. I've been having thoughts about it, because I will be showing you guys on the Piper Academy Discord that my plan of shorting Bitcoin has started. I'm already in. I haven't opened a short. I'll be disclaiming the details of that movement. Maybe I don't become a new new liquidation zone there. Nonetheless, I do have a plan. It's a very small position. And just having said that, do not copy that trade. By the way, also, I want to shout out to GIS, Alexandra G, Harp, in the Rock Crypto that are in the charts here. Thank you guys.
Yeah, that's my alumni. You know what I mean.
Yep, that's our alumni. Hey, guys, let's go ahead and jump into this. We got a lot of news to unpack, a lot of stuff to unravel and unwrap, and we're going to do all of that today. So let's go ahead and jump over into the news, and we'll get all of this going. First of all, guys, news. This one, daily news. This is your daily news update brought to you by Decrypted.tax, your trusted tax official. Anytime you guys have any questions, anything like that, that's the guy that you guys need to contact. It's Ernest over there. And we're actually going to be bringing him on the show and into our community to do a Q&A. I learned a crap ton yesterday about my taxes. So when you guys don't want the IRS knocking at your door, call Ernest, get a free consultation and 25% off your fees for him doing your taxes and protecting you. He will put you in his Ernest bubble and hold you close and protect you with a sword. That's what he does. Let's go ahead and jump into the news though. Let's do that. Hey guys, crypto bubbles, looking here on the daily. Lots of green. Everything's green. There's like very few things of red on here. There's Flare, which already had a massive pump up, right? So we had that. There is Graph is on here. We've got Ape, like that. Some pullbacks, things that have already just wildly moved, and we are looking pretty good here on the crypto bubbles for the day. Portal, PYTH, Theta, Stacks, HNT, some of the big movers, Beam, of course, up there, and why, not sure, but BSV, Bitcoin Satoshi version, still moving here. I don't know why. Let's go ahead and jump over here. Take a look at this, guys. This is the liquidations that OC was just talking about here. In the past 24 hours, 86,642 traders were liquidated. The total liquidations coming in at a whopping $390 million. And then the largest single liquidation order happened on Binance. It was an Ethereum trade. Someone tried to short Ethereum and got wrecked for $10.3 million. Economic calendar, guys. This is critical. Pay attention, class. This may be on the quiz. This is why I'm thinking that we need to be cautious. We are set up on something on the chart at resistance with historical trend at that level of pullback. Okay, about 30 to 40% average. We also have economic data lining up at the same time. And this economic data that's not good here, I talked about this yesterday on Alex O Crypto Show. And I said, look, here it is. He said, well, so what gives us to a pullback? I said, well, we got GDP growth rate quarter over quarter and the GDP price index quarter over quarter. Guys, take a look at these and see what they're saying. Previously, 4.9%. Consensus is that it will be at 3.3 and 3.3 on the forecast. That is not good for the GDP rate. That means that the GDP growth rate is slowing down. That means we're not going in an upward trajectory of growth for our GDP. The price index also looking even worse, actually. 3.3% previously. Price index is going to be lower, 1.5 and 1.5. That means that our GDP is slowing down and it's bringing in less money. Neither one of those are good. And then on Thursday, back to back, we're going to get hit with the PCE. This is the number one indicator that the Federal Reserve looks at when they talk about cutting rates and raising rates, all that good stuff, guys. Core PCE expected to be higher, almost double of what it was previously on the consensus, 0.1% higher on the forecast. This is the cost of goods without not including energy and food. So these are this is everything else. This is a major indicator that the Fed Reserve looks at, and it looks like we're heading in the wrong direction. What does this mean? It means inflation's coming back, right? So that information causes people to get risk off at the same time that you're at a major resistance, gives you pullbacks. Where's the last support levels? Well, guys, it's about a 30% drop from where we are right now. So not clickbait. I'm telling you, there's a lot of thought put into this thumbnail. I even had a better thumbnail that TradeFly, that Crexa Crypto made, and I did not use it. I went with a different one today. So there you go. He's probably like, "Where's my thumbnail?" Well, I changed it. Audible at the last minute. Guys, taking a look at the earnings reports for the week right now. Nothing major today. We got Norwegian. We got AutoZone, Lowe's here. What else we got? Cracker Barrel. Shout out to Cracker Barrel. Got to get those cornbread muffins. But tomorrow is going to be a big one here. That's the one I'm going to be watching very close. That's Marathon Digital tomorrow, guys. They're going to be having the earnings reports. If you've seen the earnings reports that happened on CleanSpark, they absolutely mooned. Marathon Digital now operating at full capacity. They just put out a tweet yesterday. I shared it in the Discord. If you're not part of the Discord, jump in there. Down below, free link. It's free. And we do a lot of talking over there. We share a lot of data. So Marathon Digital coming in tomorrow. And then lastly here, this is an interesting thing here coming in from the Kabisi report. So shout out to them. CPI inflation may begin to spike again. The NFIB survey asked 10,000 firms if they plan to increase the selling prices over the next 3 months, meaning are you going to raise your prices, companies? They responded yes. The number of firms that responded yes jumped from 20% to 40%. So more companies are saying yes, they're going to raise their prices. And as shown in this chart below, this survey is highly correlated to CPI inflation. So with the recent divergence between inflation and this survey, the gap needs to close. The feds are not going to like this. So there you go. Even he is saying probably not a good thing. I think that's good for now on the news. We got other articles, but we're going to sprinkle them out throughout the entire show. And that is what we have today for the news, brought to you by Decrypted.tax. Thanks, guys. Let's jump over here. Let's go. What's up, fellas? How you guys been? I'm back. I've been gone. I've been away doing news, but now we're here.
Back.
So yeah, let's go ahead. What's that?
I am Ron Burgundy.
I am Ron Burgundy. Let's go ahead and take a look in the chat. Anybody here talking about, I'm good, Piper Fragos. Yes, they happened from Crux there. Did you guys see anything in the chat while I was over there giving the news out? Should we say anything?
I know it looks like there was a request from MATIC from Indie Rock Crypto, so we'll definitely cover that for you, brother. We always hit up MATIC.
Awesome.
No, not too much. Not too much.
Not too much. All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump into the charts then, because I want to get to what I'm showing these guys on the chart, and it's going to be this chart brought to you by Eric Wallen. Shout out to Eric Wallen. He loves this chart. So do I, as much as I do. So here we go. I'm going to break this down for you guys really quick and simple and tell you why this is relevant. You can see right here, we just broke that 887, right? We're sitting currently at about $57,100 right now, and we are in phase 3. I was talking to you guys that this might have been our retest of the golden pocket before we go up and break out like we always have each cycle. Let's go back here, take a look. This one, we did actually have a very early in, went into phase 3, came back into phase 2, and then finally got back into phase 3 post halving. I think that we are more in line with the cycle before this, though, right now. I think we're mimicking two bull markets ago, but you can see even here, we came up about halfway, retested on that golden pocket, that 0.66 before getting that move up to the upside in the parabolic run that happened post halving. But let's go back and take a look and compare what we are seeing here coming out of into phase 2 very shortly. So really, if you guys take a look, this would not have been phase 2 until right in here, because this was all rejected off. Okay. We might be able to go with that. There we go. Very short phase 2 into phase 3. Phase 3 pumps in. We have the halving. That's that yellow line. And then we go up. If we take a look here, though, at how high we went here before we came all the way down to this wick, and we grab a little fractal. I want to grab a fractal here, guys. And I'm going to show you guys how to do this, too. We're going to show you. This is what we do. If I could find the right one. There we go. I need to grab here, and then I need to go to pattern bar patterns. That's it. So we're going to grab this here, and we're going to pull this all the way over to there. Okay. Let's grab this, and let's move this all the way back to the beginning. Okay. So we're going to move this to the beginning. Let's get this in, and I will get it over here. And we will pull this all the way over to where we are now. And I'll show you guys what this could look like and why I'm a little cautious with us having this same data coming out right now in the economic news. So let's come over here. Let's break this. Obviously, this is on logarithmic, so we got to bring this down a little bit. There we go. We could be getting this set up right here where we came up, okay, and we get that rejection off of there, off of the top. We come back down and we hit the golden pocket again, if we hit that golden pocket again, can you work with me, sir? Thank you. There we go. If we hit that golden pocket again on this, guys, that would put us right there. That's about what we would look like right there, okay, for that breakout to the upside. If you take a look at what we get here off of that move for that pullback from where we are now to the golden pocket, that's a 32% move. It would still be bullish because it's still confirming the support of the phase 3 run before we go up. As of right now, this happening as early as it is could be from institutional money that we're having this happen before the halving even occurs. But I think that we could see, with this data coming out from PCE and from GDP going in the wrong direction, a little risk off of the investment community. The risk off sentiment could take effect, and we do come back down for a test of this golden pocket before we come back up after the halving. And I just, I'm not saying that this is guaranteed. It's not written in stone. It's not going to repeat exactly, but we should be aware of this possibility. That's all I want to bring up there. I just think it's important to note that, see, it looks like you're peeking through behind there. That's so funny. I love it. It's great. There we go. I'll take that off there. You were peeking in between our two camera shots here. Let's come back here and talk about this. What do you guys think? We've definitely have bearish data coming out in the next 2 days. 2 days worth, back to back. We are at key resistance right now. And we have historically gone back down and hit that golden pocket. Is that what we're looking at this cycle? Should we have caution, or is Piper just overly pessimistic right now because he's scared to lose his gains? Let me know. You guys in the chat too. Let me know. What do you guys think? TradeFly, we'll go with you first.
Yeah, man. So ebbs and flows, man. It comes in waves. Lunar Beach crypto, up and down. It's gonna happen. So you're gonna have these big spikes up. That's what we just saw yesterday. And then you're gonna have to cool off a little bit, right? Because you have to have some consolidation. There are gonna be people that take profits. That's quite normal. But we kind of talked about it a little bit yesterday. The institutions are changing the game. So it's going to be a tough read. Are we going to get this big pullback that we're expecting pre-halving?
So true.
I don't know, to be honest with you. I think that
you froze on me. There we go. You're back. Frozen. You're good. You're good.
All right, cool. So yeah, it could definitely happen. I would expect some kind of retracement at some point. It's inevitable. Where it's going to happen at, that's where I'm a little more uncertain about, because for me, broke a pretty major area. I've been talking about, I think it was 42, was it 42? Sure. No, 45. I got to look at the charts now. I'm like losing my mind here, because there we go. Let me bring it up real quick. And all right, cool. So yeah, we were at about 52.5. That's what it was. Sorry about that. All right, so 52.5 is what I've been looking at. That was kind of my line in the sand for, I've been talking about that probably a couple weeks now, and we just blasted through that. So that's kind of what I was talking about. When we break through that area, you might see an explosive move. We definitely got that, but should we come back down and retest that? Yes, we should, to give us confirmation that, hey, we can have continuation of the upside. So that's what I'm going to be looking for personally.
Yep, absolutely. That's a good call. I'm going to jump over here to my chart in the OC. We're going to bounce over to you and see, so you can lay out what you're seeing. But real quickly, yesterday, guys, we talked about this. I showed you this descending wedge that we were in, and I said, you guys, be aware of this. This can break to the downside, but we've had very strong support here that we've been seeing for the past 2 weeks. I have my little support box down here. Shout out TA Tim for my T-box. Had this little range here on the 0.66. We were getting these nice bounces off of it. And I said, I know that 60 to 70% this breaks to the downside. But I am leaning more towards the idea that this is going to go against the odds. And I said we would likely go against that 60 to 70% likelihood and see a breakout to the upside. Almost immediately after we shut down the show yesterday, it broke out and just kept going all day long. So right now, if we take a look at this chart, we are getting way overbought. We got a red momentum dot. The ribbon is starting to come down, and you can see that here. We started to get that little flip of the ribbon here. Let me bring that in. There you go. A little twist of the ribbon is happening right there. And we are starting to get the smaller candles. So I do expect to see a little bit of a retracement, getting rejected almost perfectly on that 786 on this chart. Again, over here on the Wallen chart, we broke the platinum pocket. We're actually a little bit above it. But on the 4 hour, you can see we did get a little rejection right there on that 786. So it does look like we are poised for a little pullback. But again, these things, as I've said before many times, even over an Investing Bros show in their Discord recently, I talked about that, well, we can get these sideways movements that cool, sideways price movements that cool all these things off. And we really didn't go anywhere on price, but it cools everything off, gives us another chance for a move. So that is in the cards right now, guys. It's pretty much flip a coin. Congratulations to all the money that we've all made together, but just be cautious and be aware and know that we're still overall bullish. Pullbacks are not going to go to zero. We're not going to zero. You will not find that comment here. We're not, no 10K. All right, OC, let's go ahead and jump over to you, man. Let's show me what you're working with over here. What's your thoughts on Bitcoin first? I want to know that, and then you can talk about PYTH.
Perfect. Let's go then to Bitcoin. Well, my thoughts on Bitcoin are very straightforward. I believe that we could be keep moving upwards, and that is because, I mean, we've seen breaking a couple of big resistances, but at the same time, I told you guys that I'm shorting Bitcoin. Well, not right now, but I did enter a trailing position. All right, I will be sharing the details on that on the Piper Academy, so be aware on that one, because today I'm going to be setting up you guys on my entries and also exits. But what I'm actually seeing here is that I want to see a 3% retracement or a 4% retracement before I jump or before my my short gets open. Why? Because you guys were mentioning how are we going to be predicting now that the price action, now that we have institutional money. Well, then for me, I believe that at first we're going to have a ton more of movement, and institutions know this because they can easily manipulate the market. And I mean, we're gonna be seeing these drops and drops and dumps after we've seen a stabilization on the ETF holders buy ups. So far, I am expecting at least a 3% retracement. But where? I still don't know. But we're doing something very interesting, which is this up-ranging movement that usually breaks to the downside. And I know I'm on in the 1 hour. So let's just take a look at the 4 hour to see what else am I looking at this point, because, or even daily, that will give me a little bit less spaghetti, more indications, right? So at this point, let me just bring up here the AB drop and then pull back, and then making that little flag, which turned out to be kind of like a rising channel within this two areas right here. And as you can see, we were doing that same movement, although we broke to the upside. So at this point, I'm still expecting, because right here we did broke to the upside, I'm still expecting now a little pullback like this one. So that is what I'm expecting on Bitcoin. And I don't know if you want me to keep going with PYTH or just throw it back to you guys and then do the round.
Yeah, we'll come back to that because I want to keep the TA round short. TradeFly, what you got for us, man? You got Polygon MATIC up?
I do.
I knew you did.
All right, so looking at MATIC on the 4 hour, I know there was a request from Indy. And so let's see here. We've been talking about the cup and handle. That still has an opportunity to play out. You can see that here to here, got the little pullback, and then started to get the movement to the upside. High side of that, I think we talked about yesterday about 119, 120. But let's kind of look at current state. So if you guys were with us yesterday, sorry, it'll be a little bit of a repeat, but you can see right here we had a resistance area, all right? And we were looking, there it is, dude, the chemtrails. Let's go. All right, so we had a little breakthrough here of the resistance area. And then what I was looking for, and I drew this line yesterday, was, hey, we'll come up. And I said somewhere around 108, 109 was what I was looking for. We got up to about 107.87. So pretty close. Then we got the pullback. And now we have the retest of this area right here, which was resistance. So almost played out to a T. Now what we're looking for is to find support here at that line. So we're basically getting confirmation that we flipped resistance into support. And now we'll be looking for some movement to the upside. So keep your eye on this area right now at about 103, because you want to see this hold up. All right. You want to see this confirm a support. What I would like to see here on the prime oscillator is for it to really start wrapping back up and to the right to kind of give me confirmation that, what I'm seeing is, an area of support. But if it does fall through, there's a couple areas for you guys to look for. And one of them would be right here. I have it at the green line at about $1, which is that psychological number. All right. So you can look for some support there. And then if it continues to fall down, then we got a lot of confluence here. So we talked about this a little bit. You got the point of control, you got a high volume area, and then you have the dynamic reactor, as well as the 100-day, all lining up in this area right here. So for me, I'm a swing trader, right? So I love finding areas like this, all right? And then you see a lot of blue here. So at about 94 cents, that's an area that I'm probably going to at least set an alert on. That way, if it does pull back to that area, then I'm going to be very interested in potentially stacking some more MATIC in this area right here. And again, we'll be looking for the RSI / prime oscillator to continue, up and right. We want to kind of follow this trend as well. So if we do get a pullback, that's going to give us actually, if this continues up and right, will actually give us some bullish divergence. So we'll be looking for that. That's another thing that I really like looking for on the charts is bearish and bullish divergence. Basically, you're just seeing price action go one way and you'll see the RSI trending in the opposite direction. So look for that. But again, right now we are at a potential area of support. This is going to rely, I think, a lot on the rest of the market though. So if you're looking at Bitcoin, if that starts pulling back, the rest of the market kind of starts to cool off a little bit. Don't be surprised if you see MATIC pull back a little bit as well, and then we revisit one of these areas. So keep an eye on it today though. I think there could be an opportunity.
So I got to ask you, first off, we had a poll that came up, guys. It was, what is your overall sentiment of the market? And the options were cautious, bullish, extremely cautious, extremely bullish. It looks like we got the number one winner, cautious, 47%. So there you go. Bullish coming in at 29%. So I got to ask you, you're talking about MATIC. And there's an article out today talking about Ethereum layer 2s. That's what MATIC, that's what it does, right? It's a ZK roll-up specialist, the layer 2 for Ethereum.
Yeah.
Ethereum layer 2 adoption surge is pushing the total value locked close to $30 billion. And the two that are brought up in this article, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at it here. Excuse me. But the two that are brought up in this article, talking about the layer 2 TVL surges amid anticipation of the Dinkin upgrade. And the two that are brought up here, the biggest going to be optimism, and it's going to be Arbitrum. So the usage of layer 2 platforms with Arbitrum and Optimism leading the charge in scaling Ethereum's capacity for decentralized applications. Arbitrum, prominent player in the layer 2 space, now accounts for a staggering 45.18% of the total layer 2 total value lock. Okay. And then closely following that is the OP mainnet with the TVL of 7.56 billion. So are you concerned about the future price action of MATIC in comparison to these fairly new competitors, especially Arbitrum? It came out during the bear market, picking up so much of this. And recently, just so you're tracking, Crux talked about this on X, Crux of Crypto, from our team here, that in the article that he was reading, it referenced the Ethereum Foundation with Arbitrum, and hardly nowhere was there a reference to Polygon MATIC. So what are your thoughts on that with Polygon MATIC's price action future in comparison to its competitors in the space?
Yeah, I don't know that I'm overly concerned. I just think that maybe the assets that you're talking about will perform better. So if you're looking at an investment, and you're just getting in, maybe those have the opportunity for exponential movement in comparison to MATIC. But I've pointed it out to you guys before. MATIC has some really great deals in place with some really big names like Starbucks. It's just big retail. All right, so MATIC's here to stay. Yep. And they're going through their own upgrade process. If you guys aren't tracking on that, it's going to be Poll soon. So look for that. I think within the next, 2-3 years, they're expecting to transition most of those over. So no, I'm not out on MATIC by any means. It just may not move as hard as the rest because it's marketing, right? when you start marketing something else, a lot of times you're going to see a push, and that's fine. But yeah, there's no issue for me, honestly. I would love to see it listed.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I would too. But so just for transparency's sake, for the community here, because I told you guys I will always let you know, I actually sold off about 80% of my Polygon yesterday morning after Crux and I did an evaluation. I'm sorry, don't let it rain on your parade. I kept some, but I split out 40% and 40% over to Optimism and Arbitrum. So I want to have my money on the big riders, you know, the strong, hard movers. So keeping a little bit of MATIC exposure, but moved over, bought some Optimism and bought some Arbitrum. So
it makes
that's
sense.
what I have there.
Just like your move over from Bitcoin into the mining. I mean, like there's a potential for exponential gains in comparison to the asset you were invested in. And it's the name of the game, bro. Make money.
Absolutely. Right? Absolutely. That is the name of the game. So, but I'm keeping exposure. I didn't go completely out of MATIC. I still believe in MATIC, but yeah, I got that. Guys, I seen in the chat here, someone asked for CleanSpark. Obviously, we're going to take a look at CleanSpark and Marathon here in a minute. And then we also had someone requested COTI. I actually have an article on COTI. Might be the new Monero. So we're going to be taking a look at that too. If one of you guys want to pull up COTI and do TA on COTI, just let me know.
That's your ADA, dude.
You want to do COTI, right OC guy?
Sure, I'll take it.
Okay. All right. But you got PYTH up right now, so let's go take a look at that. You can do COTI and then we'll do PYTH. Yep.
All right. So what first, COTI or PYTH? Let's do whatever.
You can do PYTH since you already got it up. We'll do COTI afterwards.
All right. Absolutely. So let's take a look at PYTH right now. I did share it on Piper's Academy a couple of minutes ago. Where are my entries on PYTH? Basically looking at two entries. One was right down here. I decided not to sell, then hover over, then a secondary entry right here, basically averaging my entry somewhere around here, and take just my first entry out as we were breaking the previous highs. As you can see, basically we broke to the upside in here. Let me just clear everything up. And we basically make a fantastic entry right there. I already have taken another profits today. We're bouncing back down, and now it's time for me to start looking at where I could be maybe putting that extra money that I made on PYTH. I am planning to re-enter on PYTH. I still holding a little bit of my position on my previous position. It is something around 25% of the original position. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is turning on my indicators right here. As you can see, we are right now on strong signal right down here. We're going for the prime lines right down here. So basically looking for a little bit of support in those two areas, and also looking very, very carefully at my zero line right down here on my oscillator. I'm looking for a flip of the ribbon, but I'm not going to be too quick because you guys can see the major movements that we could be having. Like, for example, one move like that will put me back into the dynamic reactor, and that will be a way better entry than the one right at this area. So let's keep going and start turning on other indicators. Let's just give it a minute for TradingView to, there we go, to take a little bit of time. And as you can see right here, we have another support. Let's just draw in there, and we have a huge support here along dynamic reactor. As you guys can see, I'm building on my spaghetti right there, and that is because I want to know after I'm done where is the most concentrated part of that analysis. So I have another soft order block right down there, and let's keep going. Just wrap it up with some order blocks here with a volume profile magnifier order block, which seems that we have not yet built them before or after this big ones down here. So far we have two big entry possibilities, and one is around 0.68, and the next one is going to be at 0.59. Since I'm already holding 25% of my original position, I'm not going to be looking at this one until I confirm, and then I will be rather preparing on this area after I see a breakout on the zero line. If I don't see a breakout on the zero line, instead I see a bounce on the zero line, well, then I'll be taking maybe a late entry right up there. So that's what I got on PYTH. Basically, very, very nice trade. Hopefully you guys
awesome.
did enter in that one.
Awesome. So you're getting ready to go into COTI. I want to touch on this article that I had pulled up this morning. COTI price surge. Can the new privacy feature sustain its momentum? And this is why people are asking about COTI right now. Getting a nice move. It surged 104%, hitting a $337 million market cap. Despite a slight dip, COTI maintains strong investor interest with a $314 million trading volume. So pretty substantial there, guys. And why it's getting this is because there is a innovative feature in it that is the factor of privacy, right? So let's jump over here, talk about this real fast. Monero, we've seen that like the attack on Monero is the privacy token of choice for everyone. Got delisted, all kinds of stuff over there. I can't remember what exchange it was offhand right now, but got delisted. A lot of people moving away from it. They're scared that it's going to get overregulated and they're going to be locked in somewhere, right? Is COTI the new Monero? Is it the new privacy token of choice? It's what it looks like according to the numbers, but can it sustain that momentum? And that's the question that everyone's asking. So OC, I know you got that chart up. Show me, is it sustaining momentum or are we pulling back? What do we got?
Well, let's take a look at it. At first, I'm going to be saying right before I jump into this analysis that I don't believe that it's going to be sustainable with this kind of momentum. I mean, we've seen through history that mainly nothing is, right? I mean, at some point, we're going to be having either a range or a pullback. I'd rather see a pullback than a range and then make a solid ground. So of course, not having a pump and dump. So we can see COTI basically being just very, very, very flat for a long time and then taking off. You can see that right here, we have a very nice strong signal. We hover above the dynamic reactor, basically got some momentum catch up there. And then after we broke above the zero line, we took off. So let's get started and see how far could we maybe be retracing, because we are right now having a triple bearish divergence with a peak seeker, and that peak seeker usually adds a little bit more strength to the previous analysis.
What percentage is COTI up? How much is that up from that bottom to that top peak there?
That is something around 195 no leverage. Okay,
so the drop on XMR on Monero was actually it was actually about a 47% drop. So that is almost 4 times greater than the sell-off of Monero on the growth of COTI. So that's pretty substantial. I just want to point that out to people. So even if it was a swap over from Monero to COTI, Monero only had about a 40 to 47% drop, where this pumped almost 200%. There's a lot of relevance there in comparison. So
something just interesting that I just pulled up based on what you just comment, it is that on Monero, we have a 47% drop, right? If we see the same amount of drop right here, we're going to be taking on the dynamic reactor area.
Interesting.
So, I mean, that is not equivalent. Yes, that is not equivalent of volume, because we're talking about migrating volume from one to another. And it is not just a swappable volume, right? When you sell, sometimes you get some profits and then you put a little bit of COTI and a little bit of Bitcoin and a little bit of somewhere else, right? So just a quick interesting point is that if we do have a 46% retracement, we're going to be at dynamic reactor. But so far, just to wrap things up, the next point that I'm looking, it is at 0.20 for then a flip of the ribbon right here or a break through the zero line. I'm going to be very, very cautious in that area. And that's what I'm going to be placing a little bit of alert right there. Let's keep going and see if I can build up some more confidence on those areas. So big supports all the way down here. Let's just add them very, very quickly. Right here, 2 lines, and then again I have a bunch of other lines right there, but I'm not interested in going that lot at this moment. Let's also take a look at some other bigger support and resistances. Let's see if trying to be just there we go. They are at the same zone, and the same zone, so nothing to do there. I'm gonna be adding this loud box right there and then wrapping it up with some order blocks right here. And we do have a build up of order blocks all the way up there. So that's gonna be it for my analysis. And as you can see,
what's the price range on that? What's the price range on that retracement level for the people listening on their drive? Yeah, that retracement level that you have right there, what is that price?
The retracement level goes from 0.21 to 0.19, and my alert it's set right at 0.20. So that is the
Okay.
first retracement level that I'm looking at. Yes.
There you go, guys. There's your COTI TA. I appreciate that. I'm going to jump over here and take a look at what I'm seeing on the mining stocks real fast, and then we're going to kick it back over to TradeFly. Guys, right now we're getting a pullback. CleanSpark getting a pullback from the 1-to-1 line. If we pull this over here, you'll see we got a little bit of confluence here from our predictive ranges from Chart Prime. That's the upper resistance band, rejected perfectly off of it this morning at the market open. We also have the 1-to-1 line. If you take a look at what that is there on the daily, let's bring it back here and you'll see that is going to be the previous high that these fibs were built off of. So getting a little bit of lag there. Apologies. That's on TradingView, not on my end. But we do have this pump up that we went to yesterday. We hit that perfectly on the 4-hour, came back down, getting that rejection. We are overbought right now on the oscillators, and we are starting to get the smaller candles on the RSI Prime. We are up basically, because of the opening being high, but from yesterday. But right now we are getting a pullback on Riot, also rejection in its platinum pocket. MicroStrategies right now getting a rejection on its 1-to-1 line of its Fibonacci's. But why is this happening, I believe? I think it's all because of this guy who also got a rejection on his 1-to-1 line, ironically enough. It is on his way down right now, back to the 887, $29.39. So this is Marathon Digital. I think that we're going to see a lot of this stuff, especially like NVIDIA's even got a pullback today. Amazon's got a pullback today because of Amazon Web Services. We're seeing these tech and the mining pull back for two reasons. One, we have data coming out tomorrow and Thursday, PCE and GDP like we talked about. So everyone right now is kind of protecting the money. We have great profits. Let's go ahead and hold some of this, see how this all shakes out, right? So you got risk off mentality coming, people hedging, protecting their money, right? Maybe they're opening up hedge shorts on their futures or options call to protect their gains from their hodl bags, right? Same thing happens in stocks as what we see in crypto. But on top of that, we also have Marathon Digital getting their earnings reports on Wednesday. Marathon Digital, when it comes to crypto mining, is a beast. It is the gargantuan monster in the realm of Bitcoin mining. So what we're watching for here, what a lot of people are watching for, and what I'm definitely watching for, is how does Marathon's earnings come out on Wednesday? So we got all this data tomorrow coming out, GDP, PCE on Thursday, and Marathon Digital's earnings. I think we're just seeing a little pullback here, watching the support level on all of these. Again, that earnings, that support level sitting here on Marathon, going to be at 29.39. That support level there that we're looking here on CleanSpark coming in right about where we are right now. That is going to be the 887 at $21.08. However, if we did break it back into the platinum pocket and get a retracement here, it would retest this previous resistance as support. It would be a bullish setup for it, be a higher low and a higher high, and that would put it at $18.88 on CleanSpark. So not financial advice. Might be a decent spot to buy back in depending on how Marathon Digital's earnings look tomorrow after the market close. So TradeFly, is kick it over to you. That is my breakdown there on my what we're seeing right now on Bitcoin mining. So
all right, I got an avalanche pulled up on the 4-hour chart.
Let's
we've been
go.
talking about this past couple of days here, and a couple of things I want to point out to you. So we did talk about this area here, and we were looking for it to retest, and I said it was looking a little weak, probably going to pull back a little bit. It did pull back a little bit, but something after that kind of showed up, right? So you see price action coming down, so I got the little arrow here, but then you see the RSI or the prime oscillator going up and right? So you see these green lines here, it's showing us that there's a little bit of bullish divergence. And sure enough, we came down to the 0.5. This is why we love fib retracements on this channel, because they play out quite a bit, especially the 0.5 and the 618. We see that time and time again. So it came down to the 0.5. We found some support there. And again, you see this trending up and right. That's a good sign. That's a potential entry for a long. And then we came up, and I talked about this area as well. There's a lot of confluence here. I was like, we got to break this. We did get a small rejection off of that area. And then you see that big move, right? Those are always what you're looking for when you're looking at those areas of resistance and support. You want to see a strong move through those areas to give you confirmation that, hey, this area is something we need to watch, see this right here, when we come back down. So we got a rejection off of the 0.236. Look at that. I mean, it almost played out to a T. So I know that these fibs are looking pretty nice because everything is actually respecting these areas. You can see the support, the resistance, the breakthrough, and then you have resistance again. So this is good. So that means everything's kind of lining up. Now, I'm not saying it's going to pull back, but what we need to look for is we are overbought and we are at a potential area of resistance. So I am going to keep an eye on this area because at the 0.382, about $37 or so, we'll say maybe 37 to 38 is an area I'm going to be very interested in. Why? There's a lot of confluence, a ton of confluence. All right. So you have the 20, the 50, the 200-day moving average on the 4 hour, and then you have the 382 all lining up in this area right here. So this is an eye I'd keep an area that I would keep an eye on. So just wanted to point that out for you. In AVAX, of course, if we continue to push up, give you some high areas there. You know, I love my little charts here, my chemtrails. All right. So look, that kind of lines up. You'll see some areas of support and resistance here. So resistance and support, and it breaks down. So yeah, keep an eye on about 41. If we continue to push up, I think that's going to have a lot to do with Bitcoin and the rest of the market, really. So keep an eye on that. Obviously, we have to break through where we're at, currently at resistance. But yeah, the high side, probably about 41 short term. And then I would really be concentrating on this area at about 37. Obviously, if we get that continued breakdown, 0.5, $35, hey, we're really going to get excited here because if it pulls back and if it pulls back quickly, that gives you that opportunity of still seeing that continued uptrend on the RSI and the prime oscillator, which is going to be a very good setup in my eyes. But again, this is the area that I'm keen on right now, 37 to 38 bucks.
Awesome. I don't know if you saw the message I sent to you, TradeFly, for taking on BNB for Lunar
BNB.
Beaches. He had a request for it, and then I'm taking SHIDO, and I sent a message over to OC to take MANTA. I'm going to go ahead and jump on SHIDO, and then OC will come back around for you for MANTA, and then hit BNB up. And that should pretty much get us to the round out point. Taking a look at SHIDO here, guys. If you take a look at what we got going on, let me turn off a couple of things here and show you. First of all, we got a fixed range volume profile. You can see right here, we got that rejection on the value area high. We came down to the point of control, fought with it a little bit, lost it. This green line right here, that is the 50-day exponential moving average, giving us all this support that we're keeping us up here from going. Because typically when you break the point of control, you drop down to the value area low. We didn't get there because of this 50-day exponential moving average. Right now, got a clean retest here on the 4 hour of that point of control. I'm watching for it to head back up to this value area high, which is coming in at about 0.0099. If we go ahead and throw on the fibs, there's another thing going on here. We're caught beneath the 382 right now. And we are above that 50. So you can see the 50 is strong support for us, but we've got to get above this 382 in order for this to happen up to that value area high. We are sitting quite overbought right now on the oscillator, and we are starting to get the smaller candles here. But the one last thing that I want to show of confluence, because it's all about the confluence, right? Let's turn this off. Fib retracement, fixed range, turn all that off, and then we're going to be taking a look here. We got this MP that printed here, and this MP means max profit. I love to use these as inverse indicators from Chart Prime stuff. You see here is max profit from a sell-off point. You can see there, max profit, sell-off point, right? So if someone was shorting, this is saying, hey, max profit, right? I'm sure if I turned on the buy, sell, and reversal indicators, they would be telling us that there was an indicator that pops somewhere up in here, okay? So we got that max profit. We just clicked another max profit. So while everything should be going to the upside, we do have this trend line giving us a bounce. We do have the dynamic reactor giving us a little bounce there. We should be going to the upside, but with this and these, I do think it is possible that we come back down to the 50-day moving average. So target on the downside, if we break that trend line, that target on the downside going to be about that 0.0074. Target to the upside, like I said, this is going to be the upper trade band of the predictive ranges here. That is going to be coming in close alignment with what I'm seeing on that Fibonacci. And if we turn that on, it's going to be in this ballpark here. So let's see if we can find a fixed range volume profile and put on a T-box. It's going to be right there. That is going to be our T-box range. grab a rectangle here, and we're just going to drop it right here between that 382, that gold trade band of the predictive ranges, and that value area high, and we're going to turn this red, and that's going to be our reversal range if we do go to the upside. Dropping that other one down here, going to be on that 50 and that 50, the 50-day moving average and the 50% Fibonacci. That is going to be our green one. Going to give us a little green box there for support, and that's what I've got there on SHIDO. So let's kick it over to OC, and then we'll bring it back around for BNB closeout.
Absolutely. Right here we have MANTA, and MANTA we already have a little bit of analysis. Let me give you the heads up right now before I clear it up. We still within the same analysis, all right? We are ranging, and we have big resistance all the way up here, and of course we can prolong that resistance to be here. And because we haven't broke out, we have big support all the way down here. My next big area of support is going to be all the way down there. And I don't know, there's nothing in the charts, so let's build it up together. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is looking at where is the top of my channel. Also, I want to realize that I do have the trend assistance being red. So I need to be careful because so far right now, it indicates me that I'm more bearish than bullish. All right. I can also see that right here on my prime score and my consolidation score being still very high. So I'm ready here, which means that I could be ranging, but down ranging. All right. In my consolidation score, it means that I am in fact ranging. And because I'm bearish, again, down ranging. All right. So far, yes, I mean, we could be either looking at these two areas, but we need to look at the macro picture in here. So let's move on into the next one. Here we go. I'm going to be using these other tools, which are the VPVR, the money flow, POC, and also the volume profile that we have to the right. At this point, let's realize right here that we have the money flow, and also we have a huge bar of volume, which indicates me retail sales, right? And down here I have, then this is important, I do have a little bit of volume with big reactions, yes, and somewhat half of like median volume, right, with also a positive outcome. So that means that as long as we don't break this support line, we are good, and then we're not going all the way down. So let's just wrap it up. We're still ranging. Entries, possible entries, areas of entry, all the way at the back here, down here, as I have flipped the ribbon. So we are close to an entry for a ranging strategy. All right, for a better opportunity, just look at this area right here at 2.78, taking profit or partial profit somewhere around 304, and then Hail Mary targets all the way here at where is our rank 100, because that is pushing or making a magnetic pressure onto the price at this area. Not financial advice, guys, but look at the range. We could be close to be breaking it.
Sweet. TradeFly, I know that he pulled back his request on BNB and explained that he was saying that's who delisted it, but you said you're already committed. So go forward, neutralize target. Let's go.
Yeah, I haven't really charted Binance all that much or BNB because OC has been all over it, right? And I remember there was a lot of FUD with BNB, and it pulled back, and he was just like, OC was like, no. And man, it exploded. Like looking at it on the weekly, we had a pretty nice movement for BNB. But what I was looking for, and I was like, hey, let me pull out, let me look at the weekly and do a fib extension, right? So we had that move up, and then we had a pullback where it was consolidating, and then it moved up again. But look, like it already went all the way to the top, right? So I would say, because this lines up with a previous area of resistance right now, you're looking at this right here. Look at this crazy wick coming off of that. And then coming back over here and looking at this area, you can see there is definitely some resistance and then some support, and then it broke down, yada, yada, yada. So this is an area that I would be looking for some kind of resistance, especially after this huge move up. I would likely see something similar to this, at least at, just if I'm going to make an educated guess, you see some kind of consolidation, right? It needs to cool off. And I think a lot of the market needs to, but that's just my own opinion there. But the other thing I'm looking for here, right, is you have a big price movement up, but then if this oscillator starts to bend back down, then you're going to start seeing a little bit of divergence there between the price action and the oscillators. So that's another thing that tells me, hey, you guys know one of my things, no zone, it's back. I would not go long on BNB at this point. That's my own, we won't call it financial advice, but for me, not somewhere I'm going to enter into a long position. Obviously, we want to see this break through this area, come back, retest. This one I'm going to stay away from. So right now, 404, kind of a line in the sand for me. I want to see it break that area. But, you know, something that gives me a little confirmation that this fib extension is, we'll say, somewhat well laid out. When you go to the daily, then you see, look, it came up to the golden pocket, rejected to the 0.5, and then it continued up, right? So again, I'm going to honor that area at about 404, and I'm just going to kind of lay back, let this one sit. You know, sorry if this is something you wanted to get into and then you didn't. You know, again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not wearing my financial advisor beanie. Just personally, I'm staying away. What would I look for? If it comes back down to this area, anywhere between here where you see this resistance and then you see that move up and then where you see support. So if it comes back down anywhere in this area would be an area of interest for me, just a potential long opportunity, because we want it to come back down and we need confirmation that one of these areas is support before we see that continuation of the upside. So that's kind of what I got. And then look, yeah, if you go on the daily, you actually pull this up a little bit, you can see what I'm talking about with the divergence, right? Price action going up, RSI and prime oscillator coming down. You know, that's kind of one of the things you'll start looking for when you think that there's going to be a little bit of a pullback.
All right, awesome, man. I got my financial beanie on. OC has his tinfoil cap on, so we're good right now. We can do whatever we want with these hats on.
What do you want from me?
I want to talk about SNEK. That's what I want to talk about. Let's talk about SNEK for a second here, guys. Cardano, ADA. Impressive runs, fueling SNEK rise to new heights. So the SNEK is raising. We can see here, ADA's price increased by almost 6%. SNEK climbed about 20% in the last 24 hours. So SNEK making its way back into the news, getting that sentiment going again because ADA hype, right? Shout out to ADA Ace, by the way. If you guys haven't checked out his channel, you should. He's awesome. I want to know what he feels about these meme coins on ADA. Let's go ahead and check out the chart, though, guys, and let's get in here and see what we're seeing here on this on SNEK. Looking here on the daily Fibonacci's, I do have this pulled from the wick up here all the way at the top. If we actually bring this down and we do some like candle close Fibonacci's, because sometimes they get rid of all that noise, right? And we bring that in here and we bring that in there. There we go. You'll see that right now we're getting a rejection on that 236. It's previous resistance here. We're getting a slight break above it. Based on this, we could be getting a move up to the 382 right here. If we take a look at what we're looking at on the indicators from Chart Prime, we are above the dynamic reactor right now, which is very bullish. We already had a retest of it before it moved up there. We also have the 50-day exponential moving average that we're above. So lots of bullish support below us that we've already tested and bounced up off of. And if we take a look here, turn off these fibs for a second, you'll see that we do have support on the lower support band. That's this white band running across here for the predictive ranges for Chart Prime. And our next target on this, pretty close to where that fib is at, sitting right there on that lower trade band, that's going to be about 0.0013. So if we put this daily back on, we could do a nice little box here. Looking here for our resistance range that we're coming up to. And we're going to put that there, turn it red. That's what we do. And then below us, we have the zero line coming in down here. But what I want to point out, if we're going to turn off these dailies, we're going to turn off all of to unplug the power, turn off the moving averages. I've done some local fibs. And these local fibs here, looking at a 1 hour chart, are going to be coming in from this point of high back here down to the point of low down here. And you can take a look here and see that we have a nice little rejection here on the 1-to-1 line. And we did have resistance in the platinum pocket, but we got up into it. I'm going to be watching for this to hold the platinum pocket. If it holds the platinum pocket, we're heading up to that upper range there. Again, coming in at about 0.0013. So that will be the continuation to the upside. If we lose it, look for us to come back to the golden pocket. You can see there was a lot of play here of support, of resistance, and then support. So that would be the range I'm looking at. That's coming in at 0.0011. So that's what we got on SNEK right there. I just wanted to bring that up. It's back in the news. I had a lot of movement yesterday, giving it a nice big pump up on that Cardano run. So looks like the meme coin rally is happening. Pepe doing quite well today. Bonk doing quite well, and evidently Cardano's very own SNEK doing quite well too. So let's jump over here. Guys, it's 8:30. That wraps us out. TradeFly, OC, you guys got anything for the community here, man? For the alumni?
Hey, we had a nice little turnout today, man. I was seeing numbers as high as about 73. So if you guys are new here, we truly appreciate you spending your time with us. Go ahead, give us a like and subscribe. Let's help us grow a little bit here. Come catch us in the Discord. We do actually get in there and interact with you guys, dropping knowledge and just having fun a lot of times too. So with that being said, you guys have a great day. I'm going to pass it to OC, then the outro.
OC.
What's up, guys? Thank you so much for joining today. I really appreciate you seeing. Shout out for everybody in the chat. Let me send you guys a ton of love right there. It's not automated, but here we go. A big heart right here for you guys. So stay tuned, because this is going to be a very interesting week. I can bet. This is because of Bitcoin movement. Everything is going to be moving. Be careful out there, right? Remember, we're bullish, so be careful with those shorts. I know I mentioned that I'm shorting. It is a well-planned strategy. It's a small amount and it's a high leverage, so do not copy that. Be careful. This is not financial advice. And throwing it back to you, Piper.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Guys, thanks for joining us today on Piper Academy. Remember, tomorrow got bearish economic data coming in. We're at resistances, so just be safe. Overall, I'm still bullish. Not getting rid of anything in my bags. I am hodling this to the moon, and I'm going to be doing this right next to all of my alumni, so I appreciate you guys for joining us here tonight. Don't forget, Billy Goat Tales, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on X Spaces. I will be dropping links. Follow us on X. All the links in the description below. Guys, until tomorrow morning, I'll see you guys back here 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys the news, the charts, and the markets, and everything you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. Until then, trade safe. And as always, for the love of all that's holy, please use a stop loss.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels fall low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. TradeFly, get the soul train ready. What a line from OCI, from a Mexican spaghetti. Yo, crunch crypto with a deep dive to reject dime. And if you like the visual powered by Chart Prime, then you will part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have, step fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels fall low. Sound off.
To get with them, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean?
That was awesome, dude!